The younger son boldly approaches his father, asking for his share of the inheritance before the proper time. The father, with a heavy heart and sorrowful eyes, grants the request and divides his wealth. The son gathers all his belongings, packs them into bags, and sets out toward a distant land far from home. At first, life in the new land overflows with wealth, friends, and endless excitement. He squanders his entire fortune on reckless living, chasing pleasures without restraint. When the money finally runs out, his so-called friends abandon him and disappear. A severe famine spreads across the land, leaving food scarce and hearts desperate. The young man, once rich, is forced to take the lowest job, feeding pigs in a filthy pen. Starving and humiliated, he longs to eat the food given to the pigs, but no one shows him kindness and no one gives him anything to survive. Sitting in despair, he remembers his father's house, where even the servants had bread to spare. With a broken spirit, he resolves deep in his heart to return home. He prepares his confession, planning to admit his sin against heaven and against his father. Weak but determined, he sets out on the long, dusty road back to his village. With shame and trembling steps, he draws near to the familiar sight of home. His father, watching the horizon, sees him from afar and is moved with compassion. The father runs with open arms and embraces his son tightly. The son, overwhelmed with guilt, begins his rehearsed confession, but the father interrupts with mercy, refusing to let him finish words of shame. He calls for the best robe, commanding his servants to clothe his son with honor. He places a precious ring on his son's hand, restoring his dignity and family belonging. He puts sandals on his feet, showing that he is no longer a servant, but a son. With joy, he orders the fattened calf to be prepared for a great feast. He declares before everyone that his lost son is alive again and restored. The house soon fills with music, dancing, and the sound of overflowing celebration. Meanwhile, the elder son, returning from the fields, hears the distant sound of music and joy. Hearing the reason for the feast, he grows angry and refuses to enter the house. The father, leaving the celebration, comes outside to plead gently with his elder son. The elder son complains bitterly, feeling the situation unfair despite his years of loyalty and service. The father reminds him with gentle words, "My son, you are always with me, and all I have is yours." He explains the reason for joy. "Your brother was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now is found." The elder son struggles inside, torn between pride and jealousy. The father's eyes shine with love, longing to embrace both sons alike. The story ends as an open call. The feast of grace is still waiting, and the father invites us home.